What's the deal? What's the deal? Get this shit up in a few places here. You dig? Got the Chevy sitting on 24s. You dig? Hit the couple of them hoes. You dig? Everything around here. Hurry up and move the shit the same night. You dig? Okay, okay, okay. We twerking. What's up, Select? Yo, what's going on? Let's get this shit up. You dig? All right, what's the deal? Um, let's see. Let's see if we uh, twittered up real fast. You know, X'd up. We X'd up. Make sure. Shit. Let me see. Nope, not that. Right there. All right, we're looking good over there. We twerking over there. All right, what's about the weather? What's the weather? What we looking like? Right. See if I can pull up a link real fast. Okay. Los Angeles Angels and Detroit high-res models pack a storm complex well north of the ballpark. As always, I'll double check before first pitch, but I think we're fine here, right? Uh, green yellow, Atlanta and Minnesota. Some light drizzle, mist is possible, especially early, but I don't think it's anything that delays the game. All right. San Diego Padres at St. Louis. A cluster of near stationary storms will pop up this evening. The likely outcome is that they fire west of the ballpark, stay west of the ballpark, and have no impact on the game. The unfortunate, not out of the question outcome is that they pop over the ballpark, stay over the ballpark, and cause major problems. I'm leaving this yellow for now, but based on where the storms form, I may need to increase the risk. Interesting. I also I like a few things about that game. Texas at Chicago White Sox. As of now, the models keep things dry in Chicago until around 10 p.m. So if the models are on track, we're fine. If storms fire a bit early, possible with this kind of heat and humidity, we may see some impacts on the latest innings. Again, a pregame radar check should give us a good idea of which way things are trending, right? So we got a few weather implications here, but it is what it is, right? Keep your eyes peeled, and whatever the case may be with that. That's how we gonna look at things there, right? So yeah, right? So, at the end of the day here, I can pull down Twitter there. Let's get up. Let's get this up here. If you're new to the channel, whatever the case may be, page, channel, wherever you're watching this from, right here at Dee Bets DFS. That's my Twitter. I dropped a builder in the community section on YouTube, the members only. So it is what it is, right? But that is my Twitter right there. If anybody wants to give me a follow and try to contact me there, anything or whatever. What's going on? It's a good morning. Jake Berger brought me home a 9-pick hit parlay. Nothing big enough to withdraw. Nothing. Okay, for sure. That's what it is. That's the thing. What's up, my guy? Last few days been crazy as far as personal stuff. It's been one thing after another. Pocket's been on a diet. I need that home run late payday. Ooh, man, yesterday uh, I played pro. Jazz, man. I was on it. I was with it. Plus 700. It lined up. We got him, right? But I did do a home run parlay, and um, that motherfucker was nowhere near. He was the only one who hit a bomb. But I'm not spending money on this shit like that. Just a few bucks in and out of there. Hit parlays, bankroll builders. That's about what I'm doing right now to close the season out. Just trying to save half of this brain for baseball and half of this brain for football, and then once I get in that mode, then baseball, basketball will be coming. So we rocking and rolling, right? What's the word, Santana? How you doing? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, Rich? What's the deal? You got something? My boy Rich said, "I got something." He said, "I got something." Hope it's good, man. Whenever you feel like sharing it, be my guest. That's what this is for. That's what we do it. That's what we do it for. He said some good bats for today. I got some good bats for today. Hopefully, I made it probably halfway through the slate. What I'm gonna end up doing right now is I'm just gonna go through what I've made it through, and we'll figure out things from there. So first and foremost, for the Chicago Cubs, this Pittsburgh Pirates game here, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. For the Chicago Cubs and Pittsburgh Pirates game here, look, we got Steele on the mound. We got the man of Steele. He's better on the road, right? It's 42 something ERA on the road. We got an over under 8 in this spot. Then we got Jones back, right? So I don't imagine him to pitch that much, that long, whatever the case may be. They already limited. I mean, I know they're not going to put a lot of stress on him. However, looking at the models and things like that, the Cubs were green, right? So they're still in the green. I did what did I write down? Cubs still in the green. You know what I'm saying? Amaya, etc. Right? So we do know Jones is pretty good at pitching, right? So you do need to take pitching into consideration. We do have an over under 8 in this spot. If I'm betting a side in this one, it probably would be the Cubs or nothing. Like I said, we don't know how long Jones will be pitching. He is a decent pitcher. He's somebody who I think he throws 2 pitches to righties. But, Cubs have been playing some good baseball. I don't give out a lot of Cubs bats. We were on the Cubs yesterday, though, and they prevailed, right? So, uh, just keep in mind, keeping pitching into consideration. You know what I'm saying? Because Jones is not a pushover, but I don't think he pitches a lot. I just don't know how much. I think his last rehab start probably pitched 70 something pitches or something like that. So, keep an eye out on that. It's possible, Santana. It's possible. I hadn't. This was the only year I haven't bet a lot of Nerfies, but it is what it is. I did include Steel in the in one of the in the in the members only play that I dropped on YouTube for the members only section. Uh, but yeah, Steele was in there. And his pitching outs were in there. I couldn't talk you off of that. One thing I do want to tell you here is you know versus right versus left hand pitching. I had a hunch. I had a hunch, not a hunch, but last time they faced Lodolo, he was a lefty. I just felt like Lodolo was gonna trash them boys. He went in there and took care of business versus them. Versus lefties, the last 30 days here, and just they number one is striking out versus left-hand pitching. And only 236 plate appearances, but it is what it is. 96 WRC plus show fastest that they can hit them sometimes, right? Last 14 days, probably don't want to come in a little bit closer, but I will just for the sake of this video. Only 120 plate appearances, 35% K rate, 85 WRC plus. And then over the course of the last month, just in case you want to see if it's really real, I mean over the season, over the course of the season, they are fourth in striking out with a 95 WRC plus. So there you have that, right? Cruz looked like somebody who could at least probably get a hit. Didn't check the history. I can. I know this team has some good history versus each other. Let's see. Steele. Top of the morning, Dollar. I wish I was, man. I wish I was, bro. Thank you for the kind words, my guy. Pittsburgh. O'Neal got a bomb versus him. Nick Gonzalez has a bomb. Connor Joe's got a bomb. Connor Joe is 7 for 13. Reynolds is 4 for 18. He's got a bomb. Uh, Michael A. Taylor's got a bomb. So, it's some good history versus this team. I think the Cubs seen Jones twice. So I'll pull that up for you guys. And that's about what I got for this game here. Jones. What's my boy name? Yeah, I think it's Jared Jones. There you go. Like I said, I don't know how long Jones is going to be out there pitching, though. That's another thing, right? And would you load up, please? Thank you. All right, so they don't have his DVP out right here. Either way it go, I think he pitched 2 games versus them. So I ain't even finna break my neck on that shit. I don't even know how long he's gonna go. So bringing it back to where we were, Kansas City at Cleveland, right? So we got an over on the 9 in the spot. Kansas City Royals, they are on the road here facing Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams pitching his worst at home. Surprisingly, pitching his worst at home. You can take a look at some of the splits here that he's working with here. Gavin. Uh, so he's got an 8 ERA at home. It's just that simple, right? So it is what it is when it comes to that. He had been pitching. He's got some K stuff and stuff like that as well. But the thing about that, this team just don't strike out. So speaking of not striking out, when you're looking at the bats and stuff like that, all I wrote down was Witt, DeJong, and the right hand batters. They average, they average is up versus his pitch mix and not striking out. Same thing with the left hand batters. The left hand batters, they're not striking out. Vinny Pasquantino, over the course of a month, 7 extra base hits, 3 home runs. His averages, I think, it's above 350 versus his pitch mix. Isbell, Massey, those guys look good. They're not striking out. Melendez has 3 home runs, 3 extra base hits, 3 home runs, and those 3 home runs versus his pitch mix have been within the last week. So he's hit 3 bombs in last week, right? So Melendez has been on fire. Um, Surprisingly, Salvi, his numbers didn't. I think his K percentage. No, well, his numbers were mediocre, like ish. I want to say, but he's coming off a 2 home run game, so the heat is on. Could probably be on for him, and I expect them to put up runs. Truthfully, respectfully. Um, on the flip side, I wrote down. I mean, Ramirez versus Lorenzo's pitch mix over the course of a month, 11 extra base hits, 6 home runs, 1 bomb, right? Within the last week. He was batting 308. Josh Naylor, I mean, 7 extra base hits, 4 home runs, 1 bomb within the last week. So it is what it is, right? At the end of the day, usual suspects here. Keep in mind, the Cleveland team haven't looked so good versus right hand pitching. As of late, they might be getting ready to try to turn it around, but until then, we'll see what's going to happen, right? The next game we're going to be looking at here is going to be looking like, let me see. Okay, the Los Angeles Angels and the Detroit Tigers, right? We got an over under 9.5 with Cueto and Herder on the mound, right? So I took a look at Herder. Um, he's getting up about a strikeout of an inning. You know what I'm saying? He's got like 70 strikeouts in 71 innings. So that was coming from the minors. I think he started a few games. I didn't even fucking know that, but it is what it is. I, I don't know what to think about Cueto, right? Like, he could be teetering on getting his ass beat up. Long story short, I was just looking at some bats and I just wrote some bats down. There's a possibility there could be traffic on the bases here with a 9.5 over under. Um, Kerry Carpenter. The three bats I wrote down was Kerry Carpenter, Meadows, and Cole Keith. And I wrote down Nito, Pilar, and Adele, right? And I'm gonna just leave it like that, right? Those guys you can look at for hits. I mean, Kerry can take you deep, right? Neto can take you deep, right? So those guys I just wrote them down. Don't know if I'll bet on them or anything of that nature. Who knows, right? At the end of the day, we'll see. Slide on here for to the chat. Chat booming over here. Um, Nola, nothing less than 6 Ks. What? 8 Ks versus Houston. Marcus Semien, 1 run plus 1 hit versus White Sox in 8 of the last 10. Okay. The judge from the late. Oh, red, yeah. The judge sent somebody to the yard, and JD Martinez 2 bases versus Arizona. Ooh, 8 of 10. Okay. I didn't even get that far. Harper sold me for an RBI, and KC sold me for 1 strikeout. Obear sold me. Let the Braves dog welcome. Yep. He sold me too. He sold me too. I bounced back though in that last game. I was on them. The last game I was on them. I took those boys, both of them to hit their pitching outs and 6 Ks apiece on that was Pepoy and Bryce Miller, right? Bryce Miller came out on fire last night. They all on fire. Don't know where to go to. You definitely right. You definitely right. That's why I've been playing a lot of team totals as of late, and not that was not my big time forte, but they've been getting to them team totals. I've been scared as hell giving out them team totals, but you can't do that as long as you know. You know what I'm saying? When you're giving out picks, whatever the case may be, as long as you know, God damn it, you making the right choice, and you know what I'm saying, you got to live with the results, man. Straight up. Vincent Voyer said three picks to homers. Hadn't even got through the whole slate yet, bro. But got to a few, right? Houston Astros and Philadelphia Phillies said we got an over under 9 here. We got Verlander on the mound and we got Nola on the mound, right? So not one of my favorite games to be truthful here. The Houston Astros are plus 126 road dogs here, right? I do think there's value on that, some shape, form, or fashion. Nola can't give up a bomb, right? If I was to take anybody to go for a bomb in this game, it would be Jordan, right? He's the only thing I wrote down for this game. Was Jordan not the sexiest game for me? Was trying to make something of the Philly bats. They probably could be turning around right now, but I just don't want to force anything. 15 games, I shouldn't have to force anything. Some of those lefties weren't striking out, and then these righties, most of these righties not striking out versus Nola. So we definitely had a 5.5 strikeout for Nola. Um, um, uh, Rich in the chat, he likes Nola. I don't like his strikeouts, so it is what it is. Right now, Nola strikeouts are 5.5 at plus money. What I did, I went over to ESPN bet. I took Nola strikeouts under 6.5, and I took pitching outs for Steele at 17.5, and that came out to a plus something, right? I think I put something else in there. It's like a plus 130 or something like that. But, it is what it is, right? Bankroll builder, hey, it is what it is. But like I said, if you're looking for somebody on Philly, like Schwarber, his numbers, his average wasn't up versus his pitch mix, but the power is there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a guy that doesn't really have to hit for average. He just needs to hit for barrel, right? So, it is what it is with that situation there. So, I'm gonna look a little bit more deeper into this game here, but and I have to look deeper into Verlander. We know Nola will give up a bomb, and to lefties as well. So, taking a look at Nola real fast here. It ain't gonna be right if Nola don't give up a bomb. So, first and foremost, overall, looking at his home runs overall, he has 23 home runs, 15 to lefties, right? So, that's right up somebody like Gridon's alley, okay? Um, and at home, let's see. At home versus lefties, he's got 9 home runs. So, long story short, we know he'll give up a bomb. I don't have to look at the rest of this stuff, truthfully. The rest of his splits, I'll do it for other pitchers, but I don't have to look at the rest of his splits, right? He is giving up power to lefties. Average is down. So, like I said, if I'm looking for Jordan to go yard or something like that, I wouldn't mind taking Jordan today. Okay. Um, Next game here, and Jordan looked good versus his pitch mix. Um, it was the Oakland Athletics and Cincinnati Reds. So we still don't have a pitcher out for the Cincinnati game. Mitch Spence on the mound. Don't know what to expect here, but we do have over in the 9.5 in the spot. So in Cincinnati, it's been a while since Cincinnati Small Park acted a fool, right? So we got Cincinnati Great American Small Park, and Coors on the same slate. And more than likely, it's hot as fuck out there in Cincinnati. So we could probably see some bombs, right? We could probably see some bombs. Now, I only written down some bats because we don't have a pitcher out for Cincinnati. I've written down Stevenson, Ellie, and Steer, right? That's it. We still need to see what's going to happen with this pitching situation over here. Let me slide over here to the conversation. Dollar says, Swellenbach been cashing on Minnesota strikeouts. Yeah, he been striking motherfuckers out. I don't know if I'm going to go there. I got a couple bats there that I want to talk about. He said, gotcha, first time viewer, let's get to the bag. For sure, for sure, for sure, Vincent. Glad to have you. I do this every day for years, right? Which pitches do I like today? Yesterday I was all over some pitches. Today, I hadn't gotten through the full slate yet, so we'll see what we got to come. Um, Also, JD batting 600 versus Rodriguez. I hadn't got to that game yet, and on Tuesdays, Nola has 7 games with 6 Ks and none less than 6 Ks in his career versus Houston. But that's why I come and cook in the kitchen with the chef. All right, for sure, man. My boy got splits on top of splits on top of trends, man. Straight up. So it is what it is with that, right? Mm, Bob, shout out to Bob. He says he sees Lodolo for Cincinnati. Interesting. So I might have to double back on that one, right? I might have to double back on that one. New York Yankees at Washington Nationals. Patrick Corbin Day, right? One thing about Patrick Corbin, he's been pitching good at home. Next thing, the Yankees ain't been good versus lefties. Ain't as they were versus righties. I still can't let that track me right now. One thing to point out here, you don't see them as minus 300 favorites with Cole on the mound. More than likely, a lot of teams they be not minus 300 favorites. So it is what it is. What do we know about Corbin? Um, Last 2 games for Corbin, he's been pitching really, really, really well. Really for his standards. Excuse me, for his standards. Now, he's got a long leash. As long as he ain't giving up a super ton amount of runs, he's got a long leash. A guy like him, his hits that puts his hits prop in play, right? So that's something you can look at there. Then you got the Yankees, right? So, hmm, went to Jazz bomb yesterday, catch it, right? Um, I got scared though. I ain't even gonna lie, I got scared. But it was a plus 700. What am I scared of, right? So either way it go, um, what do I have in? So here down. Uh, I mean, so versus his pitch mix, which would be that sinker and that slider, I want to say, versus left-hand batters, Soto, Jazz, and it's a few more left-hand batters. They not striking out, bro. They not. Soto, we know he don't strike out. Jazz and Soto got 2 home runs within the last 2 months versus his pitch mix. I had to filter it a little bit farther out because it's a lefty. Judge, man, Judge looks Judge looks like Judge, right? This shit look good as hell. Then we're gonna keep an eye out on Stanton. Where's he hitting, right? If he's gonna be hitting cleanup, both Judge and both Stanton versus his pitch mix have 100 exit velo. So they just loading, right? Speaking of loading, well, we'll get to that game too, because I wish I would have put them two together. Oh, I would have had a nice one. But either way it go, Judge and Stanton, they loading, bro. They loading. They got a team total of sitting at 5.5. So it is what it is, right? Damn, I forgot to look at the Washington Nationals bats. Maybe I'll look at them. Maybe I won't. Either way it go, Soto, Jazz, Judge, Stanton, the usual suspects, man. Y'all don't need me for that. Y'all don't need me for that. At 5.5, I'm tempted to go to the 5.5. If Patrick Corbin was a righty, I would have went to the 5.5 a long time ago. Okay. New York Yankees been showing their ass versus right hand pitching here and there. I mean lefties showing their ass, right? Like like they ain't been wanting to hit them, and we get it because they do hit righties better, right? And like I said, Corbin last two games, uh, last two games. What's up, Tiff? How you doing? Last two games, Corbin pitched well, I want to say. Um, Rich, don't forget Glaber. His splits and trends is heading in the right direction for sure. I ain't gonna pull these up because I went through them and it's gonna take a little long time. But we're getting ready to start pulling up some in 1 minute after these two games right here. After these three games, let me tell you what I've seen. Toronto Blue Jays and Boston Red Sox over under 10 in the spot. Now, Boston, the lefties, as usual, they always look green, right? So what stood out to me here versus Javier Rodriguez, it's hard for me to put a read on Rodriguez sometimes, but his walks do stand out to me, right? He does walk, and then, like I said, the Boston lefties they look great. Um, but the one that stood out to me was Duran. Over the course of a month versus this pitch mix, 14 extra base hits, 6 home runs, and 3 of those home runs came within the last week. Duran, since he's came back from his little debacle suspension thing, he's been on fire. Yoshida, he looked good, but the rest of the lefties, they are in play as well, right? So on the flip side, you got none of the righties stood out to me. Uh, from Boston, and sometimes you get those times. Maybe I need to filter or something. I haven't been using the day and night filter, so that's probably something that I can look at. But on the flip side, you got the Blue Jays going up against Criswell. Criswell, don't know how long he's gonna go, right? I've been seeing some 3 innings, some 4 innings, some 5 innings here, some 1 inning, some 2 innings. But the last 3 games, I think he's won 4 innings or better. Now, um, Toronto right-hand batters looked good, but first we're gonna talk about the lefties. The two lefties that I'm looking at was Spencer Horwitz, 5 extra bases, 2 home runs within the last month. Actually, those 2 home runs were within the last week, right? He's probably batting around 270. So Wagner, if he's in the lineup, I at least like him for a hit. Toronto right-hand batters look good. Springer, he's hot and spicy. 4 home runs in the last week versus his pitch mix. 5 extra base hits on the month. Turner is batting 433 versus pitch mix. Vladdy, he's Vladdy, bro. He's batting 333. That's Vladdy. Clement, I think he's batting in the 300s and not striking out. So we got an over under 10 in this spot here. If you want to take a look at these team totals here, you just feel like some telling you just probably can't get it over the hump or whatever the case may be. Boston Red Sox team total is 5.5. Favored it to the under. over plus 112. Toronto Blue Jays 4.5. I'll pick them on the over or the under, right? You can also alter these, right? You can also alter these, whatever the case may be. So, uh, I couldn't talk you off the over here, man. I couldn't. I cannot talk you off the over here. I lean towards the over. I did want to sprinkle on it. I thought it was at 9.5. It probably was at 9.5, and I probably missed it, bro. I probably missed it. It's at a solid 10 now. Long story short, I do expect traffic to be on basis. This could be a get money game, and don't forget your straight bets, right? Don't forget your straight bets. Look at your RBIs, right? You're gonna get plus money. 99% of the books RBIs are plus money. I mean, Devers be hitting it, batting that cleanup spot, minus 110 for one RBI. Vladdy, one swing of the bat. Tyler O'Neill, all these guys. If we expect traffic to be on the bases, then so be it. Two RBIs are damn near sometimes better than home runs, right? Don't forget runs, right? It's not always about not always about home runs. People got to cross that plate, right? So you can get these as parlay pieces. You got somebody you think that's going to score 2 runs, like Duran. He's a 2-run candidate. Duran, who would call me? Who would call me around this time? Straight up. Duran, he's one of my favorite bats. Like I say, he's 14 extra base hits, leading off 14 extra base hits and 6 home runs, including 3 home runs in the last week. Leading off, he's a candidate to go for 2 runs, right? He's a candidate to go for 2 runs. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I know it's a lot, but you can diversify your portfolio when it comes to betting. Next game here we're gonna be looking at would be the uh, the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. Now, we know we got to take pitching into consideration. We know Atlanta Braves got some guys to hit some bombs. We went over this shit yesterday when versus Obear, and I was kind of skeptical. I took his pitching outs, but the thing about that was Atlanta Braves. We know they've been striking out versus righties, but you gotta stay on par with what's been going on lately. Like, what have you done for me lately? And I went over this shit yesterday, and they slipping. I ain't saying they slipping, but Atlanta, last 30 days, Atlanta, they number 10 now, 24.5% K rate. They used to be up here versus righties, but even if it's a 24.5% K rate, it's still showing improvement, right? That's the last 30 days. The last 14 days, Atlanta, now they down here, right? Now they down here. And 300 plate appearances, they 20% K rate with an 89 WRC plus. Now, the last 7 days versus righties, you got to be able to catch a trend. People get hot, teams get hot. Don't know who they face. 25% K rate, 81 WRC plus. However, if even a garbage stand gets a stake, what do we know? We know they got some home run hitters, some hard hitting motherfuckers on their team, right? So, like yesterday, I had 2 guys that I missed, right? I wrote down 2 guys. I wrote down Olsen and we wrote down Ozuna. Ozuna, those were the 2 home run candidates from that game. From that side, the Atlanta side, Ozuna hit his hits, runs, RBIs. I took that on Prize Picks, and the home run, I didn't even bet it, right? I bet the home run for Ozuna, but I didn't bet the home run for Olsen. Olsen goes yard. Ozuna doesn't. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But it was there. If you bet them both straight, you still could have profited because those were the 2 bets that I was on. Um, Long story short, there's tons of bats over here that got power. One swing of the batters, right? Yesterday they was just clicking on all cylinders, right? So, well, we have an over under 8 here. Swellenbach on the mound, Woods, Richardson on the mound. Now, same story as yesterday, right? We got some guys that can take your ass deep, right? So, bats that I had written down for Minnesota, and there's a ton of them. These guys will strike out too, though. Wallner, he will strike out, but over the course of the last month, 10 extra base hits, 4 home runs. 2 of those home runs were within the last week. Trevor Larnach, here's the guy that's not striking out versus his pitch mix. 6 extra base hits and 4 home runs within the last month. But Swellenbach does have great K stuff. He's got that shit, right? So you got to be. Now, on the Atlanta side, Olsen, eight extra base hits, 6 home runs within the last month versus his pitch mix, 1 home run within the last month. He will strike out as well, and as well as Ozuna, he will strike out too. 8 extra base hits, 5 home runs within the last month, 1 home run within the last week versus his pitch mix. Arsha, he's the one that won't strike out. 4 extra base hits, 4 home runs within the last month, with 1 home run within the last week versus pitch mix. Not saying he won't strike out, but versus that pitch mix over the last month, his K percentage was like 16. He's not known to be a big strikeout guy. Not going to touch on the rest of the bats here. Of course, there's more bats that you can touch on when you're looking at when you're looking at both of these teams, but those are the few bats that I'm touching on. We got to take pitching into consideration. I haven't figured out what I want to do with swelling back. If I want to take his strikeouts or whatever the case may be, I haven't figured it out right now. And Woods Richardson, I probably won't be taking his strikeouts. San Diego Padres at St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals is a team that's not striking out much. We got Cease on the mound. Cease has that shit, right? He does have that shit. I'm not a big fan of St. Louis Cardinals offense, right? So I will not be targeting anybody from St. Louis. Uh, McCullers, on the other hand, McCullers, he blew me, right? Last game he pitched, man, that mother, I had them to tear his ass up, and he pitched good, right? Pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he gets past these boys here today. I think they get at him, right? Taking a look at his game log here. What team was that? That was Milwaukee, right? And I had Milwaukee. I had bet like 4 or 5 people to hit a home run on that one Milwaukee team because the odds were high. The books could have tricked me. Everything was plus 400 or better, right? And I just knew one of the motherfuckers was going yard. They did not. They did not go yard, right? So, long story short, you know, this 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 San Diego team here, like I said, I'm not touching on. I didn't. I'm not going to touch on. I'm not going to give you any bats from St. Louis. Arenado won't not striking out versus this pitch mix. Mason Wynn not striking out versus this pitch mix. I still don't want to bet on him. I don't. I don't. Uh, so it is what it is. You guys can, you know what I'm saying? Not, they're not a full fade for me. I just not betting on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find me some good spots. Now, uh, for the pitch mix, this is where I left off at. So as you can see right here, Xander Bogaerts, 414 versus this pitch mix. I would look at him. He's not striking out. I would look at him for small ball hits. Can he hit a bomb? Yes. Does he have a bomb? One within the last month, but that's not what I look at him for, right? Manny Machado looks great. 18 for 53. He could be heating up. He could be loading, right? He just hit a bomb. 340. Everything is there. Exit velo is there. 9 extra base hits, 4 home runs, 21 hard hit, line drive fastball, 5 of them launched, 16 barrel rate. It's there. Need to get that fly ball up. That's why he hadn't been hitting a lot of bombs. You keep an eye on him. Good thing here, he'll be hitting the cleanup spot with 11% K rate. That's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I was hitting RBIs with him lately, so maybe we can get back on that RBI train. Now, so I definitely like these two guys. Then you got Solano down here. He's batting 6 for 16. He's batting 375 with a bomb in the last week versus this pitch mix. So see who's in these lineups, okay? Now, versus the lefties, the same old lefties look good. So now, so I really, really like them, right? Probably can look at a team total for these guys or something like that. The fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, sinker. He's doing a lot. I hate to do that shit. Change up, curveball. Man. So Reyes, I mean, here's a guy that's striking out, 2% versus pitch mix can cause problems. Getting on base. Peralta, 20% K rate, but he'll take you deep. He's been playing. He's got 3 home runs within the last month versus this pitch mix. Jackson Merrill, who's been on absolute fire, 10 extra bases, 4 home runs. The barrel rate is up for him. Fly ball is up. K percentage is down. 2 home runs within the last week. Um, Profile, his average is down, but he could be he just hit a bomb the day before yesterday. So profile, 3 home runs uh, versus pitch mix with one in the last week. So I mean, I like the team. I like this team here. I like this team. It's gonna be Saint money line parlays, money line straights. It's gonna be San Diego or nothing for me in this spot. I don't bet a lot of games, but that's where I'm looking at. Eat that, or maybe they team total over, right? Sitting at sitting at sitting at 4.5, where all I need them to do is just go out there and put up those runs. And like I said, you can also alter that down to a 3.5 if you want. McCollins, right? I think they can be able to exploit him. At home, he's got a 5.9 ERA. Um, he's given up 20 bombs this year. Um, um, and then, like I said, his batting average in general to lefties 277, to righties 288 in general. At home versus lefties 277, about the same shit, right? About the same shit all the way through. This team does not strike out, and he doesn't have good K stuff. So we'll see what's gonna happen here. We only have an over under 8 here, so things could get fishy. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't made my mind up. Probably just gonna put that bank 3.5 runs in there as an alternate 3.5 runs and do a bankroll builder. But I'll figure shit out. I'll figure it out. I like the bats here though. I might still bet on him for the simple fact that he went out there and still pitched good for versus Milwaukee, and I lost that money on him. I feel like he owes me, right? So he's due to go out there and get his ass tore up. Next game here. Uh, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games I haven't looked at. 6, right? We'll start off with what I had here. Start off here. Texas Rangers at Chicago White Sox. Um, 2 bombs and 2 hits in the last 2 versus Corbin. You're talking about Gleber. Okay, Gleber. Okay, for sure. We're gonna look at Andrew Haney going up against this White Sox team. Gary Crochet on the mound. Texas. What I do know personally is Texas ain't been good versus left-hand pitching. Don't know how long Crochet is gonna go because don't know. I don't know. So White Sox had a leash on them, so I don't know what they're gonna do, right? But left hand pitching, Texas, um, over the course of the last month, and they haven't seen many, right? Only 164 plate appearances. That's not enough, right? That's not enough. And then a 61 WRC plus on top of that over the course of a month. That's just not a lot. I'm not even going farther than that. But I can't really. And let me see what's over the course of the year what they've been doing versus lefties. Mm. Texas, um, hmm, 97 WRC plus. So whatever, right? It's not the sexiest game to me. Not my favorite game. I don't know when Crochets want to come out there and deal. I don't know when, right? So, and I don't know when they want to give him a lot of innings, right? I don't know when. So, I I don't even like this fucking game, man. Tell you the truth, man. It's just, mm. It's over under 8.5. I don't think I'll be going to any Texas bats. Let's take a look, though, man. Fuck it, man. 2 lefties on the mound, whatever, right? Some of these teams just irk my soul, right? Um, you guys got something? Let me know, man. Drop it in the comments. Uh, Texas, over the course of this year, I figured it out. Texas is the if it ain't fucking Seager, it ain't nobody for me, man. Straight up, man. Sometimes low, sometimes whatever, right? So let's see. Let's get a pitch mix up here. Um, Andrew Haney, right? Versus lefties. That fastball and slider, right? And then you got the fastball and slider. Then you got the White Sox at that. Josh Smith, man. Small sample size, 5 for 13, 2 bombs. Here's somebody you can look at there. I can refilter it out to about a good 2 months because it's a lefty, and they haven't seen that many lefties, and it's reflecting right here, right? Last 2 months, Daniel Lowe, whatever, right? But like I said, 2 months, not even 20 plate appearances for some of these guys. Corey Seager just cracked the 20%, 20 plate appearances. Um, so it is what it is, right? You say you just confirmed Reyes and Machado bankroll builder, and you think Judge for a home run is a good straight to lock in. I don't. Number one, I don't bet Judge home run a lot. Number two, his home run probably a plus 120 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So let me take a look at Judge home run because I'm curious. Me personally, I might be going back to the well on Jazz. And like I said, I was looking at them exit velo numbers versus that pitch mix. Judge shit was at 100 and Stanton shit was at 100. Stanton as in the lineup, you probably get better value on Stanton's bomb. So Judge, that's a hit. Judge plus 150 for a home run. Stanton plus 220, right? These two guys are the ones that's more likely to go home run. We could probably go back to the well on Jazz. You get a plus 500 on Jazz. Uh, Soto going up against the old team with a plus 340. I mean, it is what it is, man. That's a plus 150. Um, you put a plus 150 in there with a bunch of, if you're doing a parlay or round robin with a bunch of, man, that plus 150 fuck it up for you. But that's Judge, man. Judge is on fire, man. He's on fire. Man, he liable to just stick his bat out there and that motherfucker go over the fence. So that's how hot he is right now. But it is what it is. But where were we, right? We were here. Okay, and then you got to take into consideration the Chicago White Sox bullpen is ass. So, you know, over the course of 2 months, these guys are striking the fuck out versus the pitch mix here. Crochet does have good case stuff, right? I'll leave that up there. Let's look at these righties real quick here. Um, Adolis Garcia, who I'm not betting on. Simeon, I'm not betting on none of these guys, man. I'm done. I'm not. I'm just not, sir, ma'am. I'm not, right? These guys, a few of these righties, they strikeouts down. I just don't want to wreck my brain with this shit. Straight up, I don't. I don't. Even in looking at the White Sox, I could take a look at the White Sox here. Um, Watch they go crazy though. Watch they go crazy, and I'm talking shit. Take a look at the White Sox righties versus um. Oh shit! Oh, I messed that up, y'all. I messed that up. I messed that up big time. I messed that up. I messed that up. I had Haney pitch mix up there versus Texas. So right here, this is Andrew Vaughn looks okay. Andrew Vaughn looks okay, right? Versus Andrew Heaney. Andrew Vaughn looks okay. Could talk you off a hit for him. Uh, this is versus what? No, 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 no. No, no, scratch that. We'll get to Andrew Vaughn in a second. But the lefties, no. The righties, let me see. Let me push the righties over here. Fastball, slider, changeup. Fastball, slider, changeup. The righties, left hand pitching. Yeah, Andrew Vaughn's the only one I look like I like, man. Look at this shit. All this shit, man. That's bad as hell. Look at their barrel rates and look at all that shit, man. That's crazy. So I have to redo Texas, right? I got to redo Texas because I put the wrong pitch mix in there. Um, my fault, y'all. Got to redo Texas. Now, put Crochet's mix in there. Versus righties, last 2 months, 11 extra bases, 5 home runs for him. Um, 2 home runs on that. His top 2 pitches, fastball and cutter. 2 home runs apiece on those pitches. And we're looking at the righties here. Yeah, okay. Now they starting to look a little. Okay, so but they haven't seen a lot, right? When they have seen them, Odolis Garcia, man, 2 months. That's a lot. That's not a lot of plate appearances, man. But hey, some of these guys are green as hell. Hmm. What about the lefties here? He's throwing the same shit. Just put in a sweeper. Okay. Seeger looks good, right? Small ass sample size, but he looks good. 2 bombs, 385. This is 2 months now. 6% K rate. So, you know, hey, this is a lot. This is small. 3 months, man. Go back to 3 months. Hmm. Seeger's still not striking out. 3 months. Josh Smith got 4 bombs. He will strike out. Last 3 months, he got 4 bombs. Seager, man. Barrel was up, hard hit at 75. The fly ball is at 50, man. Damn, Seager looked good. That's 3 months, though. Let's look at these righties for 3 months. Snatch that sweeper back. 3 months. Marcus Semien. His fly ball is up. He's got a bomb. All these guys' exit velo looks good. His usual suspects here up here. Grossman. That's 3 months though. That's 3 months. So I mean, looking at those White Sox, I mean, you would expect this line to be longer, at minus 146, but they do have Crochet on the mound. Excuse me. Don't know if I'll be betting on this game. I don't. Mm. If it wouldn't be no first five and nothing like that. It'd have to be full game because I would have to incorporate that White Sox bullpen in there. Rich says, yeah, it's plus 154. Trying to read the lines and see if I can see them for the draft tickets because Vegas knows that shit. We don't. I know, right? Um, Next game here, we're gonna talk about San Francisco Giants, Milwaukee Brewers. Right, two righties on the mound. Tobias Myers been pitching good. Logan Webb been okay. Where you want to target Logan Webb at is on the road. Let's take a look at Logan Webb and his splits. So, got a big leash. He's a guy that got a big leash. He's a guy that can give up some hits. On the road, he's got a 4.11 ERA. Still not a big fan of. I'm not probably not going to be a big fan of Milwaukee in this spot. On the road, he's got a 285 batting average versus at home is a 221. Away versus lefties, 290 batting average. Away versus righties, 280. He's not giving up many bombs on the road, right? On the season, he's got 7 home runs. It's not somebody I really want to fuck with, right? Looking at his game log and how long he stays in the game. Um, First of all, has he faced Milwaukee lately? No. Has he faced Milwaukee this year? No, right? So 8 innings, 7 innings, 7 innings, 5, 9, 5, 6, 5, 7, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7, 6, 6, whatever the case may be, right? His outs probably set at 18.5 right now. Um, hasn't given up a home run in one, two, three, four, 5, 6 straight games. Not gonna be one of my sexiest games here. Not gonna be one of the six. Got an over under 7.5 in this spot, so not the most sexiest of the games. Tobias Myers. He believe it or not, Myers been pitching good. So shout out to him. I did bet on him recently, and it was something that I needed him to do that he didn't do. So that's crazy. It's crazy work there. But at home he's got a 3 RA. On the road, a little bit less than that, 2.72. He's had 13 home runs. He will be at home. At home versus lefties, 3 home runs. Home versus righties, 4. In general, 268 batting average versus lefties, 208 batting average versus righties. Home versus lefties, a 291 batting average. Home versus lefties, 291. His K percentage is down versus lefties. Clearly, he's pitching this worse versus lefties, right? Um, Heading over here, taking a look at the lefties for. So we're gonna take straight and take a look at the lefties for San Diego here, right? No, what the fuck is his name? San Francisco. So we're gonna take a straight look and look at those lefties versus righties. Tobias. So he's got 5 extra bases and 5 home runs within the last 2 months versus that fastball. So we gotta start there. Take that fucking cutter down. Look and see what they're doing versus this fastball. San Francisco take down Miami, and and they disappointed me. They let them off the hook, right? No, wait a minute. Left hand hitters, right? That's left hand hitters, right? Yeah. So I mean, none of these motherfuckers like the fastball. All of this shit is red. I don't even know who Grant McCray is. Um, mm, Let me see something. So within the last 2 months versus that fastball, Mike Yaz, he has 2 bombs, 13% K rate, 12 barrel. We'll have to pay close attention to see who's going to be in that lineup. That was over the course of 2 months. I'm not trying to force anything. I can care less. I'm not betting shit that I'm not. I can care fucking less, straight up. So, looking at the righties here versus his pitch mix here. Uh, Fastball, slider, cutter. Oh, you know what? Let's go back to the lefties. Because I didn't even put the rest of the pitches in there, though. I just looked at the fastball. He's throwing a fastball, cutter, changeup, slider. Fastball, cutter, changeup, slider. I don't know who the fuck Grant McCray is, but I guess, right? I get it, right? They all striking out and shit. Like, looking at these righties here, these righties strike out too. So, um, fastball, slider, cutter. Tyler Fitzgerald. I'm gonna like Tyler Fitzgerald. He does strike out, but one thing about Tyler Fitzgerald is he hits lefties and righties, right? So if I'm looking at a bat, I am looking at Tyler Fitzgerald. Ramos has tremendous power, but he will strike out. It's a bunch of strikeouts here, right? Um, Tobias Myers. Um, His first strikeout's probably going to get a bump here. It's sitting at 5.5. Don't know if I'll go there. Uh, Taking a look at what he's done lately. 5 strikeouts versus St. Louis. That was pretty good. 1 versus the Dodgers. 9 versus Cincinnati. So he shows flashes, right? Who the fuck is they playing? San Francisco. Has he faced San Francisco? No. Let's see what his actual numbers, strikeout numbers are. Um, to righties, he's got a 25% K rate in general and a 208 batting average. Keep an eye out on the lineup. His strikeouts are probably going to be in play because these righties strike out. right? And the top righties strike out. At home versus righties, 26% K rate with a 183 WRC, batting average, 1.17 home runs per nine versus those righties. He has 13 home runs, so whatever, right? Um, versus his pitch mix, as we can see, these righties are striking out, right? So there's a there's a pathway where he can hit his strikeouts. Tyler Fitzgerald, Chapman, Ramos, those guys will be should they will be in the lineup. They will, right? So you know, hey, look and see who's in these lineups. And then the lefties, they definitely look like they strike the fuck out. So long story short, I talked a lot about this game. Looking at Webb, take a look at Webb here. Um, these Milwaukee bats here. Um, take a quick glance at them. I'm probably not gonna bet on them. I think I'm good now. I hit that Adames home run the other day. I'm done chasing. I got a little something back from you. That's fine, man. You owe me a little bit of money. You sell me a little bit. I'm fine with what I can take. I'll take that home run and I'm done with you. Straight up. Cut your ass right off. You strike out too much, man. Sinker, sweeper, change up. Look at that. Look at the diamonds. A big ass 42% K rate, man. And green as hell. Like, man, get on my damn nerves. Glad I got that little bomb out you. Straight up. Either way it goes, we got a lot of green versus this pitch mix. A lot of green versus this pitch mix. Don't know how much I can trust it. But Jackson Churrio's not striking out. Ortiz not striking out. Contreras not striking out. I mean, Hoskins shit is low for his standards. You know, Gary Sanchez, mm, Contreras, Ortiz, Churrio not striking out. We'll have to see what's going to happen here. That's all. That's it. Webb's not the biggest strikeout guy, but he's in there long enough to garner some. But I wouldn't be fucking with his strikeouts if I just don't be betting his strikeouts at random. Um, we know this lineup on the right from the right hand side. They do have some power here. Willie Adames, like if he catches it, it's gone. I'll tell you that right now. Winston Contreras is another guy who can lift one out of there. But I think I might just end up falling back, man. Straight up. I might just end up falling back. It's a little news that you could probably use. Looking at these lefties here, um, he's throwing changeup, sinker, sweeper, and fastball. So you could throw a fastball in there uh, for the lefties, and they don't look so hot. I mean, South Relic, he never strikes out, but he like almost next to never seems to do anything significant that I see. But of course, I'm not looking at him, so let me stop knocking him. 243 batting average for Bryce Terrain. Um, Not my favorite, right? With the over under 8 here, not my favorite. You know what I'm saying? I want some fireworks, but that's what's going on in that game. Um, we should see fireworks here. Munoz gives up bombs. Cal Quantrill, eh, Cal Quantrill, one of those stubborn ass guys that has to. I think he has to pitch okay in course. Let's take a look. Cal Quantrill, right? Just go ahead and lay down, man, and be trash. Straight up. Yeah, I'm looking for a higher ERA than that. I'm greedy. But it's 4.06 at home there. He has 19 bombs. Um, at home, you would expect him to have more bombs than that at home. But 6 versus lefties, 3 versus righties, right? He's got a 248 and 276 batting average to righties. At home, 256 batting average on the road, 266. 1.78 home runs per nine on at home, right? Um, Taking a look at Cal Quantrill. Um, this is the game here, man. I mean, You know, I bet it on Judge, not Judge, whatever the kid's name, the motherfucker yesterday, Burger, right? I bet it on his ass yesterday. Took that L for the home run. So versus left-hand pitching, 3 home runs, 15 extra base hits in the last 2 months. He's throwing that sinker, splitter, cutter, curveball. Sinker, splitter, cutter. Oh shit! I didn't even filter it. I need to filter it to Miami. So I don't know if this is versus lefties, right? I don't know if Xavier plays. I think he's hurt. Jesus Sanchez got a big barrel rate, man. 221 barrel rate. The fly ball is down, but barrel rate, I mean, he can lift one out, right? His K percentage is down. That's interesting. And um, his average is down. So, let me flick a day filter on that real. No, let me flick a night filter on that just to see something. Okay. So the barrel is there. He's definitely a home run candidate, but I probably won't be betting him. Looking at the righties here, single splitter, curveball, cutter. Single splitter, curveball, cutter. Jonah Bryant, exit velo is down. Got 2 bombs. Fly ball is down. Average is up. Small ball, whatever. Burger's got 2 bombs. Exit velo 94. Barrel was up. 20% K rate. That's okay. So Burger's definitely in play there. What is he throwing? The sinker, 39% of the time. Let's look at that sinker individually. Since he's throwing it 39% of the time. And Jake Burger doesn't have a home run versus it, but he's not striking out versus it. Um, Barrel percentage is down on that. What's the next pitch? The splitter. The splitter, not a cup of tea there lately. Um, Curveball cutter. Burger likes that curveball. And likes that cutter. So it's pretty decent versus his bottom 2 pitches. That's interesting. That's interesting, right? Still cores. He still can lift one out of that motherfucker. All right. Shout out to what's the name? Edwards. I mean, what's his name? Edward Cabrera. Yesterday he got them K's. Roderick Munoz. So Roderick Munoz, uh, he's giving up them bombs, right? You definitely want to take a look at him. He's giving up bombs. Uh, Look at the splits here. 6.75 ERA on the road at home, 5.2 on the road. 23 bombs, 15 to lefties, 8 to righties. On the way versus lefties, 7 bombs, 5 on the road to righties. He's giving up, 23? Yeah, he's giving up bombs though, so it is what it is. 300 batting average to lefties. Um, 3 home runs per 9 versus lefties, 3.6. K percentage is down. Away versus lefties, two, no. On the road, his batting average is 226. That's interesting. On the road versus lefties, 246. Hmm. But he's giving up power to lefties for sure. That's interesting. That's interesting there. I didn't know that. Hmm. A bomb. 1-1-0-2-1-3. 3 to Baltimore. He gave up 3 home runs to Kansas City, 3 home runs to St. Louis, 2 home runs to Cleveland, 4 home runs to the Dodgers, 2 home runs to Miami. I mean to the Cubs opening. Hmm. Let's take a look at it. So to righties, 8 extra base hits, 3 home runs in the last 2 months. Single fastball cutter slider. Now Colorado is different at home. Okay, they can be different at home for sure. Um, hmm, look at that, man. Dark Day motherfucker strike out like a mother. I don't know if Chris Bryant is hurt or whatever. Um, hmm, mm, 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 mm. Are you motherfuckers gonna be able to take advantage of him? Shit. Well, his pitching is worse to lefty, so we'll take a look at those guys. Um, he is he's given up 15 extra base hits and 6 home runs last 2 months versus lefties. Um, most of his home runs came on his bottom pitches here. So, single slider, changeup, cutter. So Jake Cave and Michael Toglia, those guys are standing out right off the bat. K percentages are up. They will strike out, but over the course of a month, 7 extra base hits for Cave, 15, 4 home runs. Mike Toglia, 7 extra base hits, 5 home runs. His barrel is up. His fly ball is up. I would probably look to him for a home run first, then Cave. So let me write these two guys down. Feel like I ain't wrote down a battle in a long ass time. Cave and Toglia. Um, Cave has a home run within the last week. McMahon and Toglia. I think McMahon just hit a bomb yesterday. McMahon average is down like a mug. He's got 2 home runs versus this pitch mix. JK's batting 328 though. Like he's batting. Like yeah, 264 for Toglia. Okay, 7-4, 7-4, nigga. 7-4, 7-5. Okay. Um, that was it, right? Yeah. Um, let me see something. Let me see something. Cave at home versus righties. Cave has 7 home runs. They all come versus righties. Um, he's got righty splits. He's batting 286 versus righties. He is a righty. No, he's a lefty. I'm just tripping. Okay. Isolated power in general 173. What about at home? Home versus righties. Isolated power should be higher than that, but this is his best split at home versus righties with a 113 WRC plus. What about Taglia? Taglia has 21 home runs, 12 versus righties. Um, not hitting. He's hitting more home runs on the road than he is at home. Um, versus right hand pitching, Toglia in general has a 215 batting average with 241 isolated power there. Um, home versus righties, his average goes up at home versus righties. Slugging is up. Isolated power, meh. He got some weird ass splits. They all over the place. They all over the place. He's still a home run candidate. Okay, New York Mets at Arizona. Mmm. Shamania, Eduardo Rodriguez, a lefty, right? Lefty lefty matchup at that. Mm. Now we know Arizona has been on one, right? So versus left hand pitching, you're gonna get Arizona, um, 17% K rate, 121 WRC plus. That's fire. Um, New York Mets, 23% K rate, 115 WRC plus. That's good too. Last 2 weeks here, uh, take a look at New York Mets only 100 plate appearances, 26% K rate, 90 WRC plus. Um, Arizona, 21% K rate, 71 WRC plus, 129 plate appearances. I don't know who that was they played against. Right off the back here, we're going to look at the New York Mets first here. Um, left on left. Eduardo Rodriguez. Um, what's he throwing? Fastball, sinker, slider. Mm, don't like the look of that. Lefties are out of the question for me. Righties there. Fastball, changeup, cutter. So, fastball. That fastball. I know guys like uh, my guy. I know he likes fastball. I don't know where the fuck he's at. Let me see. This fastball along. Lindor's been on one. He's definitely in play. Uh, Small sample size here. I might have to filter it out a little bit longer, few months. But Lindor, he's been balling. This is versus the fastball alone. Four home runs, 27% barrel, 10% K rate. Right, that's off the fastball alone. Which he's throwing that fastball 42% of the time for right now. For right now, because he hasn't pitched that many games. Add in the changeup and the cutter. And Vientos shoots up there. Lindor comes down at a 167 batting average. He does have 5 home runs versus it, but this is over the course of 2 months, and he'll be looking. He'll be looking for it. Pete Alonso's got 4 extra base hits, 3 home runs with 44 fly ball. JD Martinez fly ball is up. His exit velo is up. This is over the course of 2 months. So keep an eye out on JD Martinez. If he gets a hold to it, he can probably lift it out of there. Mark Ventos will strike the fuck out at 42%. Man, interesting. I'll filter back down to a month and see what changes. Mm. Small sample size. Haven't seen a lot of lefties. Um, Looking at Arizona here, I think they've seen more lefties. Um, Shamanaya on the mound, and let's see, versus right-hand pitching. 16 extra bases and 6 home runs over the course of the last month. Sinker, sweeper, fastball. So, um, Lourdes Uriel, somebody you can look at. He's got 357 batting average versus pitch mix. No home runs. Definitely could look at him for a hit or something like that. I mean, Perdomo's batting 276. Uh, Marte, whenever he gets to come back, he should be fine. Um, and normally it's the lefties that's lighting up like that, right? Kevin Newman, I mean, Gritcha, Gabriel Marino's might be hurt, whatever, right? So normally it's the lefties, and we'll check the lefties right now. Normally it's the lefties that's lighting up. So sinker, sweeper, a fastball for them. And the lefties, I mean, Corbin Carroll's got 2 bombs, 16% K rate. McCarthy's just not striking out, but he's just not hitting it well as we want him to. He is hitting for average still, so man, what's the total of this one here? 7 and no. Um, 8.5. Hmm, 8.5. 8.5. I would be. Let me see. Manaya's pitching is worse to righties. I would be looking at one of these righties here. Um, and what's name been kind of I would say silent ish. Josh Bell, like what the fuck, bro? Where you been, right? He's a switch, so this might be the one. I have to check his splits. Sinker, sweeper, fastball. Mm, sinker, sweeper. Righties. Let me see. This is lefties, man. Righties. Sinker, sweeper, fastball, changeup, slider. Sinker, sweeper, changeup, slider. Josh Bell batting 160. Mm, interesting game here, man. Uh, I'll be looking at. Oh, shucks. I've been playing. I've been. I have no problem with fading this game, fading these players. I have no problem with because I made good money off Arizona. Team total just continues to print money. I missed so much money with not just laddering the team total. So maybe I'll throw Gurriel in a hit parlay or something. It's batting 357. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll throw him in there. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's something that I'll do. I could be missing something. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Right? I'll be moving it on to the next game here. JD and those boys. Yeah, I'll be moving it on. Jeffrey Springs, Logan Gilbert. Not another. Not. I mean, we got a lefty righty matchup here, and it's not going to be one of my favorite games, right? So I'm gonna be looking at this game. Let's see, Seattle versus left-hand pitching. Last 30 days. Seattle, they have probably been hitting lefties and not striking out. Oh, number two. And number two in striking out versus lefties, 76 WRC plus. Last 14 days. Um, Number three in striking out, 41. So they've been struggling versus lefties, huh? lately. Jeffrey Springs. Springs. Oh no, Springs. We'll be on the road. Uh, where he's got a 7.5 ERA on the road. Don't remember how many games he's pitched, so he's definitely not the same Jeffrey Springs from old. But he's only went on the road twice. On the road, and both of those times at Oakland, he gave up 3 earned runs there. St. Louis, second game back, he gave up 2 bombs and a few runs there. Don't know if I want to take this stuff into consideration. He did have 5 bombs versus Baltimore. Seattle is striking out the second most over the course of the last month. We can take a look at some of the strikeout numbers here and see where the strikeout numbers are set at. Uh, 5.5 for Springs, 7.5 for Gilbert. Um, uh, Bryce Miller went off last night. Logan Gilbert. Let's see. Gilbert. Logan Gilbert is pretty good, right? Um, looking at this game log here, he's got 6 Ks or better in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his last 9 games. Pitching outs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like 15 of his last 18 games, he's won 6 innings or better. Tampa Bay, has he faced Tampa Bay? He hasn't faced Tampa Bay this year. Um, right around the strikeout per inning, 162 strikeouts, 150, 65 innings. Um, he slips up here and there though and gets hit, but he's still a good pitcher, right? Let me see something. Logan Gilbert's pitching outs are sitting at 18 and a half. Hmm. Tampa Bay Rays versus right hand pitching. Um, last 30 days. Third in striking out with an 85 WRC plus. Last 2 weeks, Tampa Bay Rays, sixth in striking out, 8 plate appearances, 25% K rate, 83 WRC plus. And then the last 7 days, Tampa Bay Rays, um, yeah, still striking out. So it's a possibility that he can hit his pitching outs. It's a possibility he can hit his strikeouts. I mean, I don't know how I would do it, right? I would probably, I like to, I bet him. I've taken his 18 and a half pitching outs before. I couldn't talk you off of it. The numbers are supporting it right now. Uh, the only thing to do is look at the pitch mix. Not a big fan of none of these bats here, but we'll look at the pitch mix and we'll figure something out here. So, looking at the pitch mix here for Tampa Bay versus righties. Logan Gilbert, 8 extra bases, 2 home runs over the course of the last month, 2 months. Um, slider, fastball, cutter, slider, fastball, curveball. I'm not messing with Yandy for the rest of the year. We'll start this shit back over next year. He don't want to play. I don't like none of these righties. I'm not betting on none of them, man. Kim and Ariel, Kim and Ariel, whatever. Been looking okay. Still not betting on them. Look at these lefties here. Josh Lowe. He's got 3 bombs over the course of last month. Um, Exit Velo is up. I think he's got one. Yeah, one versus pitch mix in the last week. I mean, you can look at him if you want. Not enough. That's not enough for me to like them. It's not enough for me to even like them to win this game. So let me see. What's the line here? Seattle's got to be the favorite. Yeah, minus 152. Um, let's take a look at these other bats here. Lefties look terrible. Small sample size. Let me push it out. Look at these righties, man. I said he was loading yesterday, Polanco, and he went deep. And I know I should have bet that. I'm so weird for not betting that shit. I'm so mad at myself, man. Straight up. I look just it'll be Seattle or nothing for me, right? Uh, Kyle Raleigh, Polanco. I mean, Kyle Raleigh can go deep. His barrel's up. He will strike the fuck out though. His fly ball is up. Like whatever, right? I might take a stab at the 16 and a half. The 16 and a half pitching outs. I mean, the 18 and a half pitching outs for Logan Gilbert, right? I'm probably going to end up taking a stab at that, man. We only got a 6.5 over under here. Like, what the fuck? I can't squeeze nothing out of this. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably take a stab at the 6.5, 18 and a half pitching outs at a minus, what is it, minus 100, 101 or something like that. Let me see. Minus 102. I'll probably take a stab at it. I probably would. I ain't scared. I ain't scared, right? We'll see. We'll see. Um, a strong lean towards the over of that. So there you go. Um, Last but not least, we got the Baltimore Orioles and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Cole Irvin and Jack Flaherty on the mound here. This is going to be an interesting game here. The line for this one here is sitting at uh, 8.5. Um, Baltimore 1+160 favorites. I mean, dogs, man. Plus 160. Mm. Okay. Uh, Jake Irvin. He'll be on the road, 3.59 ERA on the road, 25 bombs, right? On the road versus lefties. He's got 11. You know who the lefties are? Otani. Five to righties. So Gavin Lux, Otani, Muncy, those guys are in play, right? Because they lefties. It's got a 242 average to both lefties and righties. On the road versus lefties, 244, 215. K percentage is not up. Um, mm, mm, mm. Um, let's take a look at this game log. So lately he's been getting up bombs. One home run to Washington, three to Philly, one to Baltimore, uh, three to San Francisco. What is he? A lefty? Yeah, righty. Three to San Francisco. Mm. Zero here, one to St. Louis, two to Cincy, two to Milwaukee, two to New York Mets. He just been on a bomb spree. Oh shit. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, King. See, good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Cause I was gone. I was lost in the sauce. I would have caught that if I went over this fucking slate, man. Damn. Man, good catch, man. Straight up, bro. Straight up, man. Who was that? King. Good catch, bro. Straight up, man. That's what we hear. Chat on point. I'm glad y'all be paying. That just confirms, don't be a lot. I don't have a lot of y'all, but y'all pay attention, man. That's good, man. So we're looking at Cole Irvin, right? Cole. Hmm. Hmm. So he's got 14. He got one home run to lefties and 14 home runs to righties, right? I know I seen somewhere where they said, why is Otani's home run so much? So where is it? Plus 390. That's good, right? That's pretty cool. That's a good bet. He's only given up one home run to lefties this year. So um, righties. He's only got a 15% K rate to lefties and righties. Um, 300 batting average to righties, 200 to lefties. Um, everything in that shit is true all the way through. Now on the road versus lefties, he's only got an 8% K rate. He doesn't have a high K rate at all anyway. Probably inducing a lot of ground balls and shit like that. How many games has he played? A decent amount of games here. He's given up a bomb in one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight of his last 9 games. Hasn't faced the Dodgers. Um, innings wise, he doesn't pitch a lot of he don't pitch a lot of innings there. So what happened with him? He was straight. 625, 630, um, oh 06, 11, 24, 7, 11, 24, 27. Okay, he don't pitch that many innings. They work that count on him. I don't know. Hmm. Let's look at these righties first. He's pitching his worst versus righties. Um, lefty, righty. Let's leave it on 2 months. Let's go to the Dodgers and look at these righties. Um, Who the fuck is it? Oh, Cole, not Garrett Cole. So, versus righties, 12 extra base hits, 5 home runs within the last month, 2 months. I say that every fucking time. Versus lefties, been pitching okay. One extra base hit, no home runs, right? This damn near. I see why his odds high. Fastball, curveball, changeup. He's throwing a lot of bullshit. Here we go. Fastball, curveball, changeup, cutter, right? Mm. Well, we'll have to see who's going to be in the lineup. Righties get a bump. I think Teoscar has been batting cleanup lately. I need to see who's going to be in the lineup. Teoscar, I don't always like to use the do word, but he probably can use a bomb. I missed on him once or twice lately, but at the end of the day, this is over the course of 2 months as well, right? This is a lefty, not a big sample size versus left-hand pitching. This is 1 month. The last month here. This is the last month. Enrique Kike, he been hitting. I don't know who he hit, but Teoscar Hernandez got a higher K rate there. A lot of these guys hitting them line drafts pretty hard. Their line draft percentage right there is up, but I mean, we'll see who's in the lineup, right? Just guys like Andy Pages and shit like that. Those guys could be, little sleepers or whatever, right? But just gotta wait to see who's in this lineup, right? Go back to 2 months. So Page is batting like 300. Just you know, Irvin. Please, would you come on? Okay, there we go. Cause it was just lagging. So like I said, he's pitching his worst to righties. Where was Mookie name at? Oh, down here. Okay. Mookie's definitely gonna be in play. I mean, it is what it is, right? Let's take a look at them lefties there. He's pitching pretty good versus lefties. The one extra base hit over the course of last month and no 2 months and no home runs. Sinker, curveball, cutter, fastball. Otani's got one home run versus that pitch in the last 2 months. That pitch makes 6 extra base hits, one home run. I could never count him out. I ain't gonna lie. Freddie Freeman numbers kind of meh. 241 over the course of the last 2 months. Not striking out. What's the total of this game? 8.5. Does it warrant a little bit of plus 160 or plus 1.5 or minus 126 for Baltimore? Let's take a look. Flaherty. One thing about Flaherty, boy, he get in a little bit of trouble. They be ready to get his ass out of there. He don't start getting into trouble until around that fifth inning, and you be scared trying to hold on for dear life, trying to hit your out spot with his ass. But he is 360 at home, 3.6 at home. Um, 19 home runs, 13 on the road. No, 10 on the road. Spreading it out a little bit, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Hmm. High SK percentage. 30% to lefties, 30% to righties. What is Baltimore versus right hand pitching? 22% K rate, 114 WIC plus. That's the last month. Baltimore, 21% K rate, 87 WIC plus last 2 weeks. Hmm. Um, Jack Flaherty. Is he regressing or due for regression? Game log. He gave up 2 of his last 3 games. He gave up 2 home runs. Um, he only went 5.2 versus Seattle. They must have been getting at him or getting ready to get at him. And he only had 5 strikeouts versus them. Milwaukee, he gave up 2 bombs to them, 7 Ks. He had 10 Ks versus Pittsburgh. You did what you had to do, but you still only went 5.2 innings. I don't like that. Um, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He didn't hit 6 innings in 4 of his last 6 games. Oakland and Cleveland, he hit 6 innings. We go through this shit with Cleveland every day. Cleveland hadn't been hitting righties well. They had not. Let me see something. Jack Flaherty, all blue. Irvin, 12% bear rate. Exit velo. Exit velo is up. His exit velo is up, and you can see why. He's given up, what, 4 bombs in 3 games. Who is this? Baltimore? Has he faced Baltimore this year? No. Okay. So, um, let's look. So, let's get this down. Jack Verdi versus lefties, 5 extra base hits and 4 home runs in the last 2 months. He's got a bomb on his top 2 pitches here. One fastball, 3 the slider. So he's going fastball, slider, knuckle curve. That knuckle curve, man. He's probably efficient with that motherfucker. Let me see something. After they fixed it, let me see. Let me take it down. Doesn't matter that much, but I'll leave it up. Okay, so um, hmm. Santander's batting 172 versus that pitch mix. He got a couple bombs. Jackson Holiday has a couple bombs, 273. Mm. Jackson Holiday's barrel is up on that, and his fly ball is too. Strike the fuck out though. Hmm. Adley batting 320, not striking out much. Cedric Mullins might make an appearance, and Colton Cowser doesn't have a bomb, but he's still 32. 344 batting average there, and his barrel is up. Somebody's probably going to take him deep this game. We'll see. Looking at these righties here, Fastball, slider, knuckle curve. He's given up 8 extra base hits and 5 home runs over the course of the last 2 months versus them. Let's see, what was it again? Fastball, slider, knuckle curve. Same old shit, right? Yeah. So Mountcastle lit up Eloy. You can look at Eloy for a hit. He just gets hits. Jordan Westberg. Is Westberg? Let me see something here. So Westberg is still out, right? It's got to be. I would say. Mm. Well, I probably would have betted on Westberg ass today. Mountcastle, Eloy. Is this enough, though? Is this enough? He's doing the same shit to lefties, too. Let me see. Eloy, Colton Cowser, Cedric Mullins, and Adley Rushman. Connor Henderson and Anthony Santander numbers are down. Averages are down. Can Baltimore win this game? Well, since Colton Cowser is hitting it, even if I want to look for a hit, which I probably won't, I probably would end up fading this game. Mountcastle. Let me see something, man. Mountcastle. Not nothing that really just. I mean, it's something there, but I'm not gonna try to force it. Everybody got their own little way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? You might got a guy that you just never bet on or shit like that. I don't know, right? I don't know. A lot of those guys I don't really bet on, and I'm not afraid of missing some money. I just don't want to lose some money. So I will definitely, I can talk about missing out on some money. Um, Marcella says, I really like JD, Enrique, uh, Willie Adamas, and Connor Joe to go yard. I threw a 50-cent ticket on them. Hey, that's what you got. Hey, these home runs are so volatile, man. People chase them motherfucking home runs all year long. That's crazy. You know, 50 cent is good. Shit, put that shit on there. And do you some bankroll builders and shit like that? Man, shit. Because you got to do some bankroll builders too. You can't, I mean, I do a lot of straights, but man, I have to do me some bankroll builders. I have to control my own destiny sometimes. So, overall here, uh, taking a look at these games here, My list is not as long as I thought it would be. My shit ain't even. It's only a half a sheet, and it's gonna get like that, man. Has anything updated for this Cincinnati game here? Either I'm not messing with no Cincinnati pitcher at home. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. I'm not. Not in Great American Ballpark. No, I can't do it. I don't give a fuck what he do. Especially, I heard whispers it was Lodolo, so uh, he's having his fair share of struggles, especially at home too. So let's take a look, man. Um, Man, like I written down, man, the Cubs were still green, bro. But you gotta give some. I don't know how long Jared Jones gonna pitch. I don't know how long he's gonna be in there, right? I don't, And this is his first game back. Mm. Justin Steele, could tuck up for strikeouts. I got his pitching outs as a parlay piece at 17 and a half. And I couldn't talk off his strikeouts. I took Lodoto's strikeouts. I took him up to 8. Last time a lefty faced Pittsburgh, I took him up to 8. Um, I have no choice but to like the strikeouts for Justin Steele, right? So his pitching outs, you get a 6 innings for him at a minus 178. You can also get his strikeouts at a 5.5. Now he just had 10 Ks, right? Steele. He just had 10 Ks, okay? I know this. I remember that. Um, versus Detroit. Who they facing right now? Pittsburgh. That's when he came off from injury. Okay. Well, he's got 6 Ks or better in 5 of his last. I mean, one, two, three, 4 of his last 5 games. So I couldn't talk you off of it, man. You know, if you got a doubt, don't even play it, man. Now his pitching outs is sitting at 18 and a half. He's hit that number 3 of his last 4. Don't know what happened in this Toronto game. Maybe weather. I don't know what happened there. Had a rough patch here. Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Arizona. Prior to that, rough patch right there. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 of his last 10 games right there. He went on the tear with a 6.5. With a 17.5 pitching outs. I like that number as a minus 162. Well, I mean, no, as a I like that number as a minus 178. You can put something else with that and get a parlay piece there. Uh, and get plus money. I mean, here, Gavin Williams pitches his worst at home. These Kansas City Royals not striking out. Lorenzen on the mound. I don't know why this line looks like this. I don't know. I don't bet games like that. Maybe I might take a stab at the Kansas City Royals, but man, the Kansas City Royals bats looked okay, man. So I couldn't talk you off of a team total or something like that. I mean, maybe the books think that they're about to hit him, right? Let's look at Guardians total runs sitting at 4.5, favored it to the over, and then you got Kansas City runs at 4.5, favored it to the under. Now we do know that Gavin Williams does got that shit, but he hasn't been good at home. Sometimes these numbers can be off. Off first glance for me, this shit looks off. Shit looks way off. To me, I could be wrong. Books can be wrong too. So, but you're gonna get value. You're gonna get value there. Um, I didn't see it. I didn't see. I don't see what the fuck they see or what they're seeing. But I don't bet a lot of games either, man. So I'm not good in that area. I'll be trying to bet team totals and shit like that, but it is what it is. Few bats here from both sides. Kerry Carpenter probably be my favorite bat from the whole game. Neto, Adele, Pilar, Meadows, Coke Keith. If I'm looking for a bomb out of this game, it's got to be Jordan. It's got to be Jordan. It's got to be Jordan. Nola's giving one out today. He's giving one out. I think Jordan's probably going to be that guy. Some bats I looked at: Stevenson, Ellie, and Steer. Stevenson, Ellie, and Steer. Those are some bats I looked at. Don't know who I like the most. Usual suspects for these guys here. I didn't look at the righties here. Maybe that's something that you can look at. Didn't look at the Washington righties. Not going to while I'm on stream. Um, Toronto and Boston. Um, I expect traffic to be on bases on both sides of the ball. I like the lefties better. Top favorite bat for me on the Boston side, Duran. 14 extra base hits over the last month and 6 home runs, including 3 home runs within the last week versus pitch mix. And Toronto right-hand batters looked good. Um, I see you. I see you. Don't matter. He said he's got Meadows for a hit and Riley Green for a hit and a run. Um, how we looking? I'm going through it right now, and then I'm gonna end it so you can rewind it back at least to the end because I'm going through it right now. The right hand batters for Toronto looks good. Lefty will be Horwitz. 5 extra base hits, 2 home runs. Those 2 home runs came within the last week. If you're looking for a lefty, you can look at Horwitz. The righties here, I mean Turner versus pitch mix. You look at him for a hit, batting 433. Vladdy 333. Plus he's Vladdy. Clement not striking out. I think his batting average is in the 300s. You can look at that. You can look at that, right? Um, Atlanta Braves and Minnesota Twins. Not one of my favorite games to target. Still wondering if I want to even mess with Schwellenbach's case or his pitching outs. If you're looking for power here, Wallner will strike out, but versus the pitch mix, 10 extra base hits, 4 home runs, and 2 home runs over the course of the last week. Larnett, 6 extra base hits, 4 home runs. He doesn't not strike out that much, but you can't. Swellenbach does have that shit. Olsen, 8 extra base hits, 6 home runs. One of those home runs came within the last week. Those are versus the pitch mix. Ozuna, 8 extra base hits, 5 home runs in the last month. Versus this pitch mix, one of those home runs were within the last week. And Arcia, 4 extra base hits, 4 home runs, 1 home run within the last week. And he doesn't strike out. He probably strikes out the least on his whole damn team. Weather implications here for San Diego. Cease on the mound, McCullers on the mound, over under 8. Most of this is out of me really wanting to get revenge on McCullers, but still, the San Diego bats look good. Machado not striking out 11% over the course of a month versus this pitch mix. 9 extra base hits, 4 home runs. Extra velo around 97. He looks good. None of these guys are really striking out. Um, if you're wondering, yes, um, Mero looks fine, right? So he looks good, okay? So yeah, I'm not messing with none of the St. Louis bats. I don't care what they do. Mason Wynn and Arenado don't strike out that much, but Cease does have this shit. We'll see what's gonna happen. This game, if I had to take one bat from San Francisco, all these San Francisco righties strike out. Just keep it funky with you. Tobias Myers, he's capable of getting to 6 Ks. I don't know if he's going to get to 6 Ks. Another thing you could probably look at is Tobias Myers' pitching outs. I forgot to mention that. Let's take a look and see where his pitching outs are. 15 and a half. I see instances where we might be able to get to it, right? Tobias Myers. Let's see. I didn't. I should have looked at this earlier. I had to come back and reiterate it right now. So let's take a look and see. Game log here. Tobias Myers, 15 and a half. He's 2 for 3 to that number in the last 3 games. Hasn't faced this team. Um, I think it's a good bet. Like bet. I bet you go bet. San Francisco versus right hand pitching. Right. Let's take a look. Last 30 days, San Francisco Giants here. Uh, 26% K rate, 92 WRC plus. Um, 14 last 14 days, 27%, 28%, 104 WRC plus. Um, Last 7 days, um, they top 5, top 8, top 7, all the way through in strikeouts. So if he can whiff a few motherfuckers, he can hit that, right? And it's a -110. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't mind that bet. I don't mind that bet. And at -110, I don't mind that. On ESPN bet, I could probably go with, let's see. On ESPN bet, we could probably go, I could probably go Tobias Myers, um, 3.5 Ks, and probably his pitching outs. Let's see. 15 and a half pitching outs. That'll put you at a +119. You know, if you're just trying some stuff, whatever, if you don't feel it, don't do it, right? Don't do it, right? I think it's an okay bet given how San Francisco is versus right hand pitching, the way they strike out, and you know how okay Tobias Myers has been. Um, Not a big strikeout guy though, but I mean, shit. Um, he's looked okay to me. He's looked okay. He's got games where he's win 6, 6, 8. You know what I'm saying? 8 innings and shit like that. 8 innings here for Detroit. So I think it's a good bet. Let me get back to the rundown. Right. So if I was taking any bet here from that game, it would be Fitzgerald. Right. I forgot to write him down. He strikes out a ton, but I'm still writing his name down because he hits lefties and righties, but he still strikes out. I'm not probably not fucking with him. Webb, his pitching outs are in play. His pitching outs are in play. We got some guys over here that hit bombs, man. So Webb don't give up a lot of bombs. I think this Milwaukee team could hit some ground balls as well. It is what it is, right? There's some bats there that was green. Willie Adames was green for sure. He strikes out 42% of the time versus that pitch mix, though. Um, Churio, there was a couple bats that was green there. Contreras, there's a couple bats that was green. Contreras don't strike out that much. Texas Rangers at Chicago White Sox. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm looking at Corey Seager. I don't want nothing. I probably don't want nothing to do with this game. Truthfully, I forgot who the fuck I was even. I didn't even write him down because I'm just was over this game. Um, I wrote down Jake Cave and Taglia. Jake Cave, 7 extra base hits, 4 home runs, one within the last week versus pitch mix over the course of last month. Over the course of last month with Taglia, 7 extra base hits, 5 home runs, 1 home run with the versus pitch mix this last week. But yeah, they're at home. They're in Coors Field. You know, Coors Field goes crazy at some certain times. New York Mets, Arizona Diamondbacks. I was torn. First time I've been torn with this Arizona team in a long time. If you're looking for somebody to put on your hit parlay, you can look at Uriel, right? That's what I got for you. The New York Mets, JD, averages was down. He'll lift one out of there, though. Pete will lift one. Uh, it was certain ways you can look at um, the kid, the leadoff hitter. And then I think it was Vietnam's. He looked okay here and there. I don't know what to expect though. I don't. I don't. Tampa Bay, Seattle. Is at the end of the day, if I'm picking the side here, it's gonna be Seattle or nothing for me. I lean towards the over pitching outs for Gilbert at a minus 102. Um, Not my favorite game. 6.5 over under here. Not my favorite game. And I was very, 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 very undecided in this Baltimore game. Irvin, 14 home runs to righties, 1 home run to lefties. Flaherty, 2 home runs in 2 of his last 3 games. After going over this shit, is not my favorite slate, but sometimes you get those times. I took, man, favorite bats: Duran, Machado. No, 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 no. Let's. Come on, come on now, come on now, come on now. Damn, I gotta include Duran in there. I'll tell you right, home runs. Not gonna mention any of the Yankees because they the Yankees, man. I'm not gonna. They good, right? If standing in 4 hole, he probably finna go yard today. But just stand, y'all know. I don't need to say that. I probably won't bet standing no plus 200 either. But I want to go back to the well on Jazz, truthfully, but that'll be a side. That'll be my side piece for the day. Jordan, Duran, shit, Springer is hot. He's got 4 home runs in the last week. Springer, versus that pitch mix, he's hot. I forgot to mention him. Damn, do I go back to the well on Ozuna? Taglia. If I had to bet a 3-leg parlay right now, it would be Jordan, Duran, and fucking Machado, man. Fucking Machado, straight up. For right now. But candidates, though: Kerry Carpenter, Ramirez, Naylor, MJ Melendez got 3 home runs in versus pitch mix in the last week. I'm just pointing that out. I didn't put him up there as a candidate though, but so I said Kerry, Ramirez, Naylor, um, Jordan, the Yankees. I'll just say the Yankees, right? Uh, Jaron Duran, Vladdy, Springer, Walner, Larnach, Olson, Ozuna, Machado, Merrill, Cave, Taglia, um, Berger, Otani is always in question, Seager. Peace out, fam. Peace out.